So my name is Tasha Fishman, and this is Jim.
Jim Maven.
Yeah, and we are going to answer some of your questions. So the first question you asked is, what is the name of our invention? And it's the Baby Go Round.
This Baby Go Round is a very simple device, and what it does, it allows a young mind, 3 months old to walking age infant, to be able to have new perspectives that weren't available before in a very safe environment. This allows, this pole here stays behind the baby at all times, so they don't know what holds them up. They look around and they don't see that, which just adds to their experience. They're able to spin in this direction freely, and they're able to walk all the way around this and change their position in the room. So from a 3D perspective, every angle of every object in the room is being perceived slightly different because there's stereoscopic vision, and every angle is changed. That adds great entertainment to the consciousness that's operating this little unit. And from the perspective of a mom and baby, baby's happy and safe and having fun. Mom's got time to do her things that she needs to do, especially at that age when before baby can walk, and it's basically going to be on his butt or on his back, and this is why I think it works so effectively. It seems to have more fun value than anything else I've been able to find, and comparing it to everything on the market. And that's basically it.
Okay, so I'm just going to explain a little bit about what we've done, because I know that I sent you the first video with my son in it, and everything was very colorful, so you're probably wondering, this looks a little bit like a different version, and it is. We kind of call it the second edition. And so as you can see, I don't know how well you can see on this camera, but we've covered it in a washable, really soft plush infant material, actually used on the covers of breastfeeding pillows, that are really popular ones that I loved. So that it just makes it a bit softer, and moms love things that can be washed. So we also did this with the arm. The version that you saw in the video actually had a yoga mat for a cover. This is plastic and a little bit more lightweight. The second edition that we were looking to make it was portable and more lightweight. So Jim has invented, this is a cover that we made for the arm. I'm just going to pull it up so that you can see what Jim has done.
I'll just take it off here.
So we're just taking out the cover so you can get a different idea of how we've tried to make this more lightweight and portable.
This is the arm lock mechanism. Now it's locked in position. And you release it like this. This is going to allow for compact storage. This folds down and will wrap around the other side. And the idea for portability here is to be able to pick it up and move it easily by utilizing the base as a wheel, so it can be rolled easily around. And when this wraps around the other side and locks in, this will become the handle, and this will be the wheel for portability and storage. So as you can see, when this is all put together, it takes up a little bit of space. But actually not as much as you think, because there's no big A-frame to walk around. This base can actually become part of your floor, especially in a small apartment. It literally moves out of your way as you walk by it. So in actual fact, it's taking up only that much space in your room. And that's basically the design. And the bearing has been redesigned on the bottom for more durability and longevity. And it just works.
Okay, so what's unique about this invention, coming from somebody who's used the prototype with my son for about 9 months and being a mom, I have never seen anything on the market like this. I think our competitors are the Jolly Jumper and probably the
Exerciser?
Exerciser is the word I'm using. That has all the tactile toys where the child's stationary and there's kind of like a wobble at the bottom of it. I know that the walkers with the wheels are illegal here in Canada, although they aren't in the States or Mexico. I think that would be our competitors. But what's unique about this is that the child, from a mom's perspective, I'm able to put my baby in there. I could be in the kitchen cooking. I know that he's mobile, he's having a great time, but he's safe. He can't really get anywhere. He can't really reach for anything. He's just kind of doing his thing. So that's really the most important and unique piece. I've never seen anything like this. I'm constantly looking for things. I'm constantly looking for new toys. I'm in all the baby stores, you know, the mom workshops that they have. So that's kind of what's unique from that perspective. And what about the reference point? Maybe the mechanics of it.
The most unique thing about this and what it does that nothing else does. I mean, a walker with wheels on it can do it, but there's a reason they're not legal in Canada. And if you look at the statistics of how many children have been injured in Canada alone, it's huge. I'm really surprised they're still legal to buy them in the States. What's the safety factor compared to this? This is totally safe, whereas that has a limit. If your kid goes over, hits the edge of the stairs, it's going all the way to the bottom, and you're going to have serious injuries for a kid, an infant falling down a set of stairs. That worry doesn't exist with this. Peace of mind. And the biggest factor, I think the most effective, which has been proven time and time again, is that the child wants to stay in here for long periods of time. They just don't get tired of it.
Well, the reference point, right? So while the baby's turning, it's walking, there's nothing else where it's almost like the harness is behind the baby as well, so they think they're doing it on their own. And every reference point changes from every turn that they make.
And they can stop it actually being in a different position in the room, which is everything is a slightly different angle. And the other thing I did too with this, there's a specially designed bearing in the base that allows even a 3-month-old with very little power and size to actually move its entire body because it's on a thrust bearing, and that makes it easy to move.
So they propel their weight, like they kind of lean forward, their weight propels it, and then they can move, and you'll see that in some of the footage where we had IVM this morning.
I think, Sutash, I think one of the biggest things is, even though it's hard for us to understand from an infant's point of view what a sense of freedom feels like, but I think it actually creates a sense of independence and freedom and empowerment for such a young mind.
Oh, absolutely.
They're 3 months old and walking around under their own steam.
Yeah.
That little consciousness is perceiving that.
Yeah.
And I think that's why all the other things, places they can go and be in the room or whatever is available, they keep going back to this because it's one of the most enjoyable places to be when they're energized and up and about and alert, exploring life.
Well, I remember when my son was first in it, and the first time I was talking to him and he was standing there and he turned right around to look at me, and then he looked around at Daddy and looked around at me, and it was so amazing the look on his face because he was only able to sit up and maybe turn his head from side to side. So to have that mobility and be able to turn and see the whole room and that 360-degree turn, it was just like, wow, like it was pretty cool to watch. So
yeah, my intention in the designing was to give the child the most amount of freedom with the least amount of restriction possible, at the same time keeping them safe.
Yeah.
And I can't see any way to give them more mobility and freedom besides making an anti-gravity belt or something for them to float around. There's no way of doing it really, because you're going to need some kind of mechanical structure to hold them up.